The international break is here, and Newcastle are busy, as Eddie Howe looks for a new solution. Today, we'll find out the breaking news from Fabrizio Romano. Break down Newcastle's recent midfield headache. Find out what's the plan for Emile Rowe, and discuss the rumors regarding Kalvin Phillips. Starting off, according to Scott Wilson of the Northern Echo, Newcastle's ownership group meeting to firm up January transfer plans this month, with Emile Rowe being touted as an early potential target. Further reports claim that following a busy summer window that saw them bring in players like Sandro Tonali, Harvey Barnes, and Tyno Livramento, Newcastle is interested in securing Rowe on a loan deal with a potential purchase option in the future. However, Arsenal is reluctant to agree to a loan transfer and would prefer to offload the player permanently. Rowe has struggled for playing time at the Emirates, leading Arsenal to put a £50 million, $62 million price tag on him. This valuation may pose a challenge for Newcastle, as they need to adhere to financial fair play rules. In addition to pursuing Rowe, Newcastle is also looking to offload some of their own players, with Emil Kraft and Javier Manquillo being mentioned as potential departures. The Magpies will need to free up sufficient funds to make the acquisition of Rowe possible if Arsenal remains firm on their negotiating stance. The outcome of these negotiations and the financial situation will determine whether Newcastle can successfully pursue the transfer. Then moving on, Eduard Spertsyan has recently expressed his interest in a move to the Premier League, indicating that Newcastle United could secure his services for around £13 million. Considering his impressive performances over the past year, this fee could prove to be a bargain. Despite his relative anonymity in England, Spertsyan has showcased his creative abilities with 5 goals and 3 assists in 11 Russian Premier League appearances this season. Newcastle United reportedly scouted Spertsyan during an impressive display for Armenia against Wales in a European Championship qualifier. Although no offer was made during the summer, the 23-year-old playmaker's growing list of suitors will likely take note of his desire for a new challenge. Spertsyan expressed his ambition to play in Europe, emphasizing his confidence and belief in achieving greater goals. When asked about his potential transfer fee, Spertsyan mentioned a figure of around €15 million, as perceived by the club president. Newcastle's failure to secure an attacking midfielder in the summer transfer window has made Spertsyan a player to keep an eye on. While he is still a work in progress, Newcastle's recent transfer strategy under their Saudi Arabian ownership has focused on signing players with untapped potential.
Are you sure about that?
Looking at everything in terms of how we grow Newcastle, how we grow our brand, how we grow our club, the opportunity to buy players affordably well early in the cycle is critical to our growth. You know, we're very focused on academy and young players at the moment.
There is also reported interest from other clubs such as Juventus, Ajax, and Fiorentina, indicating that Spertsyan's talent has attracted attention beyond Newcastle's radar. Former Russia and Tottenham striker Roman Pavlyuchenko believes that if the interest is genuine, it would be difficult for Spertsyan to refuse such offers, as Russian clubs do not participate in European competitions. Pavlyuchenko even suggests that Spertsyan should consider a move to Newcastle, where he would likely get playing time. Furthermore, according to recent reports, Newcastle United, Liverpool, and Arsenal are considering a move for Bayer Leverkusen and Ecuador player Piero Hincapie. The 3 clubs are said to be in talks regarding a potential deal for Piero Hincapie, a defender from Bayer Leverkusen. Hincapie, who is highly regarded as one of the Bundesliga's top defenders, has amassed 73 appearances over the past 2 seasons. Despite being only 21 years old, Hincapie recently signed a new contract with Bayer Leverkusen as a reward for his progress and to fend off potential suitors. In response to the increasing speculation surrounding Hincapie's future, Bayer Leverkusen is reportedly preparing for further discussions and setting a minimum valuation of €50 million, £43.3 million for the player. This indicates their intention to hold out for a significant transfer fee if they were to consider parting ways with the talented defender. Then, according to various reports, Newcastle United was believed to be leading the race to sign Kalvin Phillips during the upcoming January transfer window. This seemed like a logical move, as Phillips fits the profile of the type of midfielder that manager Eddie Howe prefers. However, highly regarded journalist Fabrizio Romano has provided an update that casts doubt on these claims, at least for the time being. In his daily briefing, Romano stated that there has been no contact between Newcastle United and either Manchester City or Kalvin Phillips's representatives. Instead, Romano suggests that Newcastle's January transfer plans will be determined by their performance and position in the Champions League group stage leading up to that point. This implies that Newcastle's potential pursuit of Phillips or any other players will depend on their progress in the European competition. It's important to note that the situation may change as the transfer window approaches and developments unfold. However, as of now, Romano's update indicates that there have been no concrete discussions or negotiations between Newcastle, Manchester City, or Phillips's representatives regarding a potential transfer. Furthermore, according to reports, Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe has no intention of selling Jamaal Lascelles during the upcoming January transfer window. Lascelles, who has recently regained his place in the starting lineup, has impressed and showcased his value to the team. Despite any speculation that may suggest otherwise, Newcastle United Football Club has stated that Lascelles will absolutely not be sold in January. Lascelles' return to the starting 11 has solidified his position as the club captain, and his performances have likely convinced Howe of his importance to the team. While Lascelles' increased playing time may have been facilitated by Sven Botman's injury, he has taken the opportunity to prove his worth and strengthen his reputation within the squad. Newcastle United's firm stance on retaining Lascelles indicates their commitment to keeping their influential captain at the club. This statement suggests that there are no plans to entertain offers for Lascelles in the January transfer window, emphasizing his value to the team and his role in Howe's plans moving forward. Then, in other news, Bruno Guimaraes has managed to make the 90 Minutes Football Top 20 Best Footballers in the World list, ranking in 18th place. While according to Fabrizio Romano, Nicolo Zaniolo and Sandro Tonali have been questioned by authorities. This happens after being accused about possible involvement in illegal betting. Aston Villa and Newcastle players have both left Italy training camp after speaking to the police. The Italian Federation have now released a statement on the accusations of possible illegal betting involvement. The Federation announces that in the late afternoon of today, the Public Prosecutor's Office of Turin has notified investigative acts to footballers Sandro Tonali and Nicolo Zaniolo, currently meeting with the national team at the Federal Technical Center of Coverciano. Regardless of the nature of the acts, considering that in this situation the two players are not in the necessary condition to face the commitments scheduled in the coming days, the Federation has decided, also to protect them, to allow them to return to their respective clubs. So stay tuned as we see how this story develops.